Welcome to the video series Trucking by the Numbers. This is where I, the midlife trucker Tom Bell, break down what I made as a Christenson Transportation lease operator using the variable lease. This is for week number 42, which ended October 21, 2022. Remember, I show you every week, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And there's a little bit of every one of those that come along. This is not a referral video. I am not telling you to come here. I'm simply showing you what I made here. Your journey and your mileage will vary. Let's get to the video. Coming up. The first load for this week went from Bloomfield, Missouri to Lakeland, Florida. The load was 243 empty miles for $241, 934 loaded miles for $1,167, $140 in detention pay. The fuel rebate was $532, the market surcharge $11.21. The load paid $2,092 or $2.24 per loaded mile. Load number 2 went from High Springs, Florida to London, Kentucky. There were 149 empty miles for $123, 626 loaded miles for $782 miles. The fuel rebate was $366, the market surcharge $7.51. The load paid $1,279. Load number 3 went from Crossville, Tennessee to Union City, Georgia. There were 139 empty miles for $111. 207 loaded miles for $258. Detention pay was $90. Fuel rebate was $121. The market surcharge $2.48. The load paid $583. The fourth and final load for the week went from White, Georgia to Lebanon, Tennessee. There were 123 empty miles for $91. 206 loaded miles for $257. Fuel rebate was $120. Market surcharge $2.47. The load paid $471. This week I had 2 fuel fill-ups. Both of them were at Love's in Calhoun, Georgia. The Calhoun, Georgia Love's tends to be the second lowest Love's price-wise in the state of Georgia, with Waco, Georgia being the lowest. All right, the 2 fuel fill-ups totaled 286.694 gallons. That came to a total of $1,459 or $5.09 per gallon. Because I used the company's fuel card, my total price was $1,344 for those gallons of diesel. That was $114 savings or 40 cents per gallon savings, 7.8%. That's the lowest percentage that I've saved yet. Christenson reconciles the IFTA fuel and mileage tax chargeback every month. This was the week for last month, September. $264.93 is what I wound up owing for IFTA for last month. How is that possible? Well, I had 8.6 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. But the negative part was I fueled mostly in Georgia. 2/3 of my fuel were in Georgia, which had 0 IFTA taxes being removed due to the tax holiday lasting through December 15th. Okay, time to look at logs. There were 2,447 dispatched miles, loaded plus empty, 2,714 logged miles, 2,719 odometer miles. Remember what I said, sometimes dispatched miles is less or more based on what carries over to the week before or after. The fixed costs are just that, fixed expenses. They stay the same every week. This page of the fixed cost includes the sign-on bonus, which is $150, the $275s at the bottom. Those offset the performance bond escrow and the TL security deposit. My variable cost full maintenance lease was 2,627 miles for $1,129. Okay, 4 loads for this week, 654 empty miles, 1,973 loaded miles, 2,627 miles total, 75.1% loaded, 657 miles average per load. All right, now to the revenue, $567 for empty miles, $24.66 for loaded miles, $230 for detention, $23.67 market surcharge, $11.40 For fuel rebate, $150 sign-on bonus, $4,577 total revenue. Now for the expenses, $1,129 for the variable lease, $226 fixed expenses, $1,344 for diesel fuel, $74 for DEF, $150 in deposits, $1.50 in com data fees, $264 for my IFTA fuel tax. Remember, they reconcile this monthly. $31.91 were my total expense. That leads to a net to the driver of $13.86. As always, for full transparency, here are the actual pay statements. Please feel free to freeze frame them, blow them up, do whatever you want to, take a closer look at them, but they're the actual ones that I get from the company. Keep in mind that I have only been in this industry for 3 years. Yes, I know there are places where I can make more money. I know there are leases where I could be picking my own loads. I could be traveling the entire United States instead of the Southeast region. This particular choice that I made was to work Southeast region with Christenson Transportation, and your mileage is going to vary. You may go home differently than I do. You may spend more time on the road. You may do longer runs. You may do shorter runs. All of these things will cause your mileage to vary. But an important thing is if you don't know your numbers, you can't gauge your success. You can't fix what could be wrong if you're not monitoring your numbers. And remember, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.